Hello and welcome to Find Your Inner Flavor. Today's episode is all about Olivia's Naturals. Olivia's Naturals is our sponsor for these next 3 recordings. If you are live on Facebook right now, and you live in the St. Louis area, we want to invite you to come on down to the Gaslight. Greg made meatballs and wings with our no tomato barbecue sauce and our no tomato pasta sauce. That is the reason that we are streaming this live today, because we have our Indiegogo on live and our crowdfund going, trying to raise awareness and raise funds to be able to create these products so that they are shelf stable. Myself and my partner are the co-owners of SymBowl. We're located in Kirkwood, St. Charles, and in Chesterfield, Missouri. And again, this episode is brought to you by Dr. Olivia's Naturals. You can check her sign out right back there. And if you just put the www dot in front of it and then the .com at the end of it, you'll go right to her link. We've got Eric joining us today. He is her partner in crime, the marketing person, not the doctor person. Yeah. So we're going to talk about supplements, how they kind of came out with these products, and why are supplements needed. And are you done, Eric?
I'm done. Yes. Sorry.
Wow. It's like he's texting.
I'm already being reprimanded.
Teenager.
Man.
Jeez.
So he's on his phone.
I'm trying to promote you. I mean, come on.
It's perfect. So Olivia is on vacation or whatever, drinking cocktails.
She sent the B team.
And she sent you in. And I think it was funny because we're sitting there talking, we're having questions, and you're like going, okay, hold on a second. I am not the doctor when it comes to this.
Yeah, don't talk to me expecting like I know things, because I don't.
Well, first of all, thank you for sponsoring, choosing to sponsor. It is because of sponsors that we're able to continue educating and using this platform to do that. So let's talk a little bit about the products that you have. I looked at everything, and I'm very familiar with calcium, magnesium, and I'm very familiar with fish oils. But then you guys had a turmeric blend, and I was like, why would somebody take this as a supplement? Now we use turmeric in our restaurant, and I know that component.
Juicing.
Yeah.
We use it powdered form in some of the sauces. It's a component to our chicken broth. Not only does it give it a lovely golden color, but it does, I mean, for me, like I was talking kind of off air or on air, Ayurvedically, which is a very old Indian practice, it's very good for digestion and for basically gut support.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, what's interesting is that the turmeric or turmeric, however you say it, I still haven't figured that one out as long as I've been in this, doing this now.
We'll butcher it either way.
That's where we started. And I can't even remember how long ago it was, 3-4 years. Well, I mean, I've known Olivia now for probably 5 or 6 years. And I started off as a patient. I live right down the street from their main office. They've got interest in a lot of offices, chiropractic offices, but their main office, the Wellness Connection, is right down the street from me. And although I may look a little younger, I've actually got 10 surgeries under my belt.
Wow.
3 on each knee, 3 on my right wrist, sorry, and 1 rotator cuff. So I've got a bit of inflammation floating around me.
Was this sports related?
Generally speaking, yeah. I'm not very good to my body.
Or just clumsy.
It could be a bit of that as well, depending on who you speak to.
Well, we're seeing you suck down that margarita. So.
Well, you know, that could be considered an anti-inflammatory as well. So there's multiple ways to attack that deal. So, but anyway, so yeah, I went in and, I heard that acupuncture is good for circulation and inflammation. So I thought, I'd figure this out, because I had some just ongoing pain in specifically at the time, my wrist, even though I've only had 3 surgeries on one wrist. Both wrists, I work at the computer a lot, and I just had that, the ongoing aches, and I guess you could call it arthritic type of, situation. I guess I don't know technically what it was, but it just hurt. And so I thought, we'll give acupuncture a try, and I did for well over a year. It really didn't seem to be doing the trick, and at the end of it, she said, I don't really know. Acupuncture's not doing it, so it's got to be something else. So the next step was nutrition. So she started talking to me about that, and recommended some specific supplements or ingredients that she said, go here, get this, and And I did, and literally 2 or 3 weeks later, it was just a night and day difference. Couldn't believe the difference that it made for me. So, you know, at that point, I was like, wow, I mean, this is incredible. Just one little change of supplementing made for me anyway. Certainly, it's not to say that it's a cure-all or is going to do that for, you know, everybody. But
so can you tell us what supplements it was? Was it her product or was it something
happened to
else?
be some of the supplements that specifically go into that one, the turmeric or turmeric.
But it was not her.
It was not hers at the time,
okay,
no,
gotcha.
because she didn't have that. So, because, I mean, yeah. So I went to the supplement store and she recommended specific brands and specific things, and I got them and I took them, and this was after trying several things to take care of my issue, and that was the first one that did it. And so I kept seeing her, kept doing acupuncture. I believe in it, although it wasn't necessarily the key for me in that particular situation. But I kept seeing her, and honestly, even though I was getting acupuncture, I think mostly what I was paying for to go in every month or twice a month or whatever was her knowledge. I mean, every time I'd go in and I have questions, and I feel like I was paying to get access to her incredible wealth of experience and knowledge, and it was worth it for me. So I kept doing that for a while, and we just developed a relationship. I'd see her at church here and there. I think we developed some trust, and you know, one visit, I never forget. I just threw out a question. I just said, you know, why don't you make your own supplements? I mean, I see they're selling stuff in the office, you know, some specific brands, but it didn't have her name on it. I thought, you know, you're Dr. Olivia, it sounds healthy, you know. It's like, I don't know, olive oil. I mean, it's kind of a health. I don't know.
We're gonna help.
Olive oil,
She just skipped
Olivia.
over
Just
that
kind of had a ring to it. I thought, you know, Dr. Olivia.
I love that she's not here and you're the one.
Anyway, you know, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a marketing guy, so I was, you know, seeing maybe a little opportunity. So I just threw out the question, and sure enough, she was like, yeah, you know, I tried it before, and she had at the time maybe partnered up with the wrong person, and it didn't work out. And I said, well, I mean, I don't know. All I know is that what you recommended worked really well, and there's no reason to take the specifics of what you recommended and put it into your own formula that you would specifically recommend. And, you know, if you formulate it, I can sell it. So that's kind of how it started.
So that was how it was started.
Yeah, that's how it started. Literally, the whole brand was that one.
And how
visit.
long ago was that?
You know, I was thinking about that on the way in. I'm guessing it was probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay. And
Yeah.
then you've created and developed 2 other
Correct.
supplements.
So it started with the turmeric, you know, complex, which is, you know, turmeric's the biggest ingredient, but all supplemental ingredients around inflammation support, boswellia and frankincense and bioperine to kind of give it, you know, kind of a full spectrum kind of thing. And that was what we did for at least a year, and then we got into the magnesium complex, and then the fish oil complex. You know, really, I think getting around the core things that are the biggest need, the biggest that people have that they're deficient in, is kind of where we started. So yeah, and it's been an incredible ride. It's been incredible to see the stories, you know, from really all over the world, actually, which is pretty neat.
Well, that was, I guess, probably leads into what your question was, you know, what is it that you're seeing in the marketplace or in just whatever that's causing people to need extra supplements?
Whew, bad diet.
I mean, how was your diet when you went in? Did you even think one iota about what you were eating?
No, not really. And that was about the time that really started diving in and learning about the whole spectrum, not just supplementing, but, you know, what you're feeding your body. I read a book that scared the heck out of me called Brain Grain. I don't know if you guys have heard of that book, but it was quite an eye-opener for me. And I have definitely noticed that taking in too many carbs makes a big difference in my inflammation pain as well. I say pain, it just, you know, one thing causes another. So yeah, it was just a time frame where I was getting educated based on my need, because I had so many surgeries and it caused inflammation and, you know, some issues. So I would say that yeah, you know, I mean, we could talk for 4 hours about what's causing, you know, people's need for supplementation and better diet. But at the end of the day, it's the fast food mentality.
Well, and that's kind of the direction that we've gone is the food is medicine concepts, but we know that the food is not the only component in it. And supplements are oftentimes needed because the foods are depleted so greatly of it, and people are not getting enough of it in their daily diet.
Even with the best diet, it's really hard to feed your body what it really needs. And you know, the supplements that we have right now, I would consider to be fundamental supplements in the nature of the vast majority of the people are probably deficient in the areas that we offer products right now.
So what makes your product unique or different from something that you can just walk into a grocery store and buy or any retail store and buy?
Great question, and there's a couple aspects to that. Number one, we do not sell single ingredient products. We never will, because it's kind of like this aspect of, you know, you always hear that fish oil is good, right? Well, fish oil is good, but it's only good when it's formulated properly to be absorbed and to, you know, for your body to take advantage of it. Same with magnesium. Most people, you know, think of magnesium, it's kind of like the backup for calcium kind of thing, right? But in reality, it's probably more important than calcium, because calcium's no good without magnesium. And if you were to talk to Dr. Olivia, and I might be putting words in her mouth, maybe or maybe not, but she's told me on several occasions that, you know, you don't need more calcium, you need magnesium. And so that's why there's no calcium in our magnesium supplement. Because most people aren't deficient there. They're deficient in the magnesium that they need to absorb the calcium.
So we don't need to drink more milk?
I, in an effort to not get sued, I'm not going to say that, but
most people probably get plenty.
Most people
calcium.
probably are not deficient there.
And is magnesium used oftentimes for helping somebody sleep? What is magnesium used for?
Yeah, and again, that's getting in maybe
That's
to
more of
a
a
realm of
doctor
our
question.
business that's not my forte, but
Let's just put a question and answer out there.
yeah, I would say that, you know, magnesium, it definitely supports the body's ability to rest and to, you know, to be able to create a, you know, a body that, you know, isn't antsy, so to speak. It's kind of like the nervous system and the muscular system uses magnesium in a big way, and if you're deficient in it, then it just can't do what it needs to do. And again, I'm speaking way outside of my expertise, but all I know is that it definitely supports rest and sleep, and I can tell an incredible difference with it. So,
And the omega, the fish oils?
Yeah, the fish oil is just, you know, around the basic concept that the vast majority of the people are deficient in omegas. And there's very few ways to get them in the modern diet. So it's just one of those things that, kind of like magnesium, that it's really hard to get without supplementing. But getting back to your question of what makes our products different, it's that, you know, every aspect or every product we have is designed to fulfill a need. It's not designed to sell a specific ingredient, right? There's so many products and companies out there that are essentially just capitalizing upon trends. You know, turmeric is a trend, fish oil is a trend, magnesium is a trend. They're trends because they're needed, but we don't need more, you know, supplements that sell cheap magnesium or cheap fish oil that's, you know, rotten, right? Or turmeric that, you know, doesn't have along with it what your body needs to absorb it. So we sell supplements that have some synergy that, you know, that allow you to take advantage of what it's designed for. In addition, we sell, you know, quality supplements that you go into your average, especially Walmart or, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say it. That was.
You can say it.
Okay, so
We'll allow you.
Well, we had a little brush in with the potential lawsuits. So I'm trying to avoid
really?
those.
Oh, well then.
So any of your
Delete that
major,
component.
yeah. Rewind. No, but the bottom line is it's not about Walmart or any specific, you know, retailer that sells it. It's about brands that are essentially capitalizing on the trends and just stuffing pills full of the cheapest form of whatever XYZ ingredient we're talking about, right?
Well, and I'm seeing a lot of similarities between our approach to food and, you know, for us, you said, you know, accommodations that do well. One of the things I know myself and any of the chefs is when we get an order that comes back and there's like hardly any vegetables in it. And it just drives us nuts.
Mushrooms and scallions.
Mushroom and scallion. Yeah, it's like, what? This is crap. We really have promoted from day one to try and get as many different types of vegetables into the products that we create, because it is not just, oh well, I'm just going to have carrots and now I'm healthy. Well, no, you know, that's just one tiny spectrum of the nutrients that your body needs. You need to be eating a huge selection of things, and
Absolutely.
and I think it's odd because there was just a report out, because I'm an NPR junkie, about childhood obesity, obesity in general, and how basically they effed up the statistics. There hasn't been any lessening. It's actually gotten worse. And most of it is, they're saying, because of failed food policy of the past, like 20, 30 years. The difference between, don't do fats. Fats are terrible. Go low fat, go high carb, go high protein, this, that. And where they're discovering is that, no, your body needs all of these things. You can't simply eliminate something that you think is a danger.
Well, and there's sugar in everything.
Sugar in everything.
You can't buy anything nowadays, and
if it's low fat, it's high sugar, high salt.
Well, even if it
if it's low sugar, it's high fat, it's high salt. Everything is a mess. And what you're saying is like the common diet. Yeah, people don't eat variety.
No,
especially grocery stores Grocery stores are structured to sell you product. They're no different than Walmart or Target or any of those. They are geared to get you to buy stuff. And the stuff that they want you to buy is, honestly, the high market, cheap and easy stuff.
Yeah. Well, and it's the marketing that winds up.
Well, it's like with our pasta sauce. We want to be able to make it shelf stable, but we want to avoid sodium benzoate and citric acid and other preservatives that stabilize it. So how do we do that? Because we realize that, we can make it refrigerated, but that's going to be prohibitive to get it out there into the larger market. So how do you guys went to the step, I guess, of not just hustling, one thing or the other. You're actually trying to create something that, what you said, synergy? That was a big Scrabble word. But
which is very impressive for you.
But something that actually isn't just, here, take this.
Yeah,
something that actually will promote overall wellness, which I appreciate. I've been in the supplement world for many long time.
So, do you guys have any other supplements on the forefront? Are you looking at creating or developing any more here?
Yeah, Olivia's got a real passion for again, this is an area outside of my realm, but the whole idea of imbalanced hormones, and which I think plays into Hashimoto's quite a bit. Previous topic, but and so we're working on something there. That's probably going to be our next realm of a product launch. And I'm excited about it, but I'm a little nervous because it's probably the area that I know the least about. So, these products, I knew there was what we have now is I knew this was an area of need.
Well, and you were a testimonial for
Correct.
it. You knew it based on experience, so it was easy for you to market it, talk about it, all of this other stuff.
Correct.
So I get that, yeah. And the hormone issue, we are going to do a series of episodes coming up here in the near future that are geared specifically on hormone.
Of that recently. I don't know if it's more education or just something else is out there, but we've seen a lot of that coming through the shops.
Well, I think that there has been a lot of it. I think that what's happening now more than anything is people are talking about it, and people are getting diagnosed with it. That was my story in my 20s, was major hormone issues, and I suffered and dealt with it for years, all the way even through up. I probably still have issues with it. I just don't do anything necessarily. But your adrenals wind up affecting your hormones. Your lymph nodes affect everything affects your hormones. And we think of only women dealing with hormones, and that's not true.
I've had my bad days.
Well, and it's not just we're not talking just PMS. We're talking
Yeah.
a balance of hormones.
Well,
you know,
I
it's
mean,
interesting-
well,
I
go
was
ahead.
going to say, Olivia and I talking about a hormone supplement. You know, she was talking about a supplement that actually guys and girls can
Yeah.
take equally.
Yeah.
Because there's just like a diet. You know, yes, there are some specific things that are, you know, geared towards female versus male, just intrinsically, but. There's also some deficiencies there from a hormone standpoint that, you know, one supplement can, you know, take.
So does she start coming up with the products that are needed, and then you kind of go into the business side of it to have it created, developed, and then market it?
Essentially, yes. I go on faith that what she creates, there's a need for.
She knows what she's talking about. That would be a plus.
That's kind of it. And, you know, thankfully she does. I mean, we don't go into a market where there isn't a need, but it is a little tougher because, you know, we're not appealing just to the trends, you know, that, you know, most people that don't know any better, they're only looking for one specific ingredient because it is hot. They're not looking for the
It
rest.
was
And so
in Health and
naturally-
Fitness or Dr. Oz wanted to get his penny's worth out of it. Yeah.
Correct, yeah. And so our market is a little bit different. We're going after the more educated market that knows it's more than just one single ingredient.
Yeah.
And that's a bit more difficult. It's not as profitable, but that's where we operate.
Well, I think that's why I love having you guys on as a sponsor and us working more and more with Dr. Olivia and partnering more is because we take the food approach the same way that they take their wellness approach in their chiropractic office, and obviously their supplement side as well. And I mean, it's very new to me. I didn't, when I approached her about sponsoring and she said, Dr. Olivia's Naturals is going to sponsor 1 month of the podcast. And I'm like going, okay, well, I guess I have to go on there and check it out and see. I'm like going, oh, and your prices are not crazy. Like the price points are not.
No, they're not. We have average pricing for what I would consider well above average quality product that, you know, you can't get the type of quality that we have at any regular retailer. But we have the regular retailer price.
Yeah. And you can go onto your website and order it directly.
Correct.
And then I also noticed that you can sign up for monthly shipments or for it to come to you automatically every month, and then you get a discount there as well.
Yeah, we've got what we call a VIP club where you can just opt into, you know, an email list, and we don't blast you like crazy. You're going to get essentially 1 or 2 emails a month. That's about it, and you get a discount on the products on a regular basis, so you can, you know, take care of you and your family at a discount.
So do you have any juicy stuff on Dr. Olivia since she's not here?
Yeah.
Like, does she ever eat bad?
Oh, that's actually a great question.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever see
we
her
do
at a
know there was
bar
an
eating a
absolute
cheeseburger?
refusal to give up coffee.
Yeah.
We know that one.
She did our restart, which is our 3-day juice detox protocol. And she said to me specifically, I'm going to do this, but I will not give up my bulletproof coffee. And I go, I don't care. You go right ahead, drink your coffee. I'm like, you're the doctor.
Yeah, you know what's great is that she's not, and again, I'm not necessarily political. She's not a Nazi about everything, right? So it's like she realizes that we live in, you know, a world where you're gonna not be perfect all the time,
Right?
And you know, she goes on a pizza binge every now and then. So I just say that.
That's exciting.
She talks about at least, I think she said once a year, her entire family, they binge on pizza. It's like somewhere around the holiday time. And I don't remember where I got that.
No,
But
you got to do what you got to do.
it's like once a year, I got to have
once
it.
a year. That's not
I know.
No,
I'm like
that's crazy.
That doesn't
Yeah.
count.
I'm lucky
You're
if I
right.
get once a. Don't do it once a week or once a day. Pizza's my weakness. Pizza is my weakness.
But just the fact that she admitted to it was impressive to
Well,
me because, you know.
I
She
think,
is
and that's the approach that
natural,
we want.
not to be a pun, but
Yeah.
she was very authentic,
yeah.
which we appreciate.
And that's the approach that we're taking. I mean, you're seeing us drinking mixed cocktails. You know, we've got coffee here. We're pretty laid back because we want to approach this like the average normal person. We don't want to be the guru and the the Nazi in regards to whipping the
Yeah.
whip and saying, "Oh, how dare you do that?" We're all human.
There's reality.
Yeah, we're living a life. I don't want to be somebody who's so hyper focused that I don't enjoy going out to eat.
Absolutely.
And when we're restaurant owners and when we're restaurateurs and we go out and that's part of our life is to experience the new restaurants and the new things out there.
And one thing that I will say I appreciate about Olivia and just having perspective on an issue, specifically with having kids, right? I've got 3 kids, and I think we're generally more protective about our kids than we are ourselves, right? At least I am.
I could get rid of that.
Yours are older. I bet his are younger.
You throw them to the wolves, and if they survive, they survive. But I think there's an overprotective nature that we have toward kids, and there's a bit of a trend to make your kids eat better than you do in a certain sense. And one thing I've appreciated is just witnessing. Hey, when you're out and about, it's okay to not be perfect every now and again, but you balance it out by being healthy as much as you can.
I love that she has a daughter that's vegetarian.
Well, yes, that's a bit of a late breaking.
Because that's kind of like a little bit of this. I notice when she's talked to me or when they came in together, and it's so funny because she's like, "This is not me. Like I want meat. I want this," and her daughter does not do it. But I think all kids kind of rebel a little bit against what.
If you're going to rebel, that's not a bad way to do it.
Exactly.
I'd be eating Twinkies and right, Mom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it is fun. It's fun, and it's fun kind of coming full circle because I'm familiar with Dr. Olivia and Brian and Jason and Whitney when they first opened up their practice. And gosh, I want to say it had to have been right around 15 years ago, 16
right.
years ago. And my family was in a car accident, knew of them, and that's who we sought out to help us. So we had this relationship with them, our kids going in there, them taking care of all of us. And then here we came full circle with the restaurants, and then they were frequenting coming in. Olivia's in our video for our crowd fund as an expert, and she's been a contributing blogger. We've had her on the podcast. It's great to have those relationships with experts that you don't have to know it all. You just have to know the people to ask the questions to. So she's a huge resource for us in many, many ways. Anything else that you want to share in regards to what makes it unique? What makes it different?
There's so many different ways you could go to it, but I think that the big thing that I've understood about, just talking specifically about supplements and the whole industry, the market's getting flooded with Me Too products that are just there to make money. I mean, essentially. And the whole where Dr. Olivia Naturals started is just an entirely different story. Naturally, I think we're all out there to make, obviously a profit, but this was about bringing her knowledge to the world. I felt like, I was getting such an incredible value by visiting her once or twice a month and for acupuncture, but I was getting so much more than that. I just was thinking, gosh, how can we, take your knowledge to the world? And, and I saw the supplement side because that's what made a difference for me. And now that as we've launched our products, we've seen more and more and more people that have come back with feedback that, your products work so much better than, taking specifically like a turmeric. Your turmeric works so much better than all the others. Right. Why? Well, because it's not just turmeric, right? There's kind of a master plan in place there for the whole complex aspect of it. It's not just one ingredient. And so I would just say that the thing that makes it special, I mean, it's Olivia. It's her knowledge. It's her experience in the industry of supplementation and the research behind it, and the research, not to go beyond my bounds, but the research it's hard for any average person to keep up with. So,
Right.
Relying on her experience and what you're putting into your body, it certainly gives me a degree of confidence that you can't find in any average, supplement that you're going to pick up, on the corner of your closest intersection.
So you can go to droliviasnaturals.com to purchase these supplements. Does she also sell it in her location or just online?
She does. Yep.
Okay, so you can go into her practice also, which is in O'Fallon on Highway K, right there at the intersection of K and N.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Absolutely.
being the sponsor. We're going to go ahead and wrap this episode of Find Your Inner Flavor up. We want to thank the Gaslight for creating a creative space for us to come in here and record our podcast. Matt with Media Outlaws, who's sitting behind the screen, has us up live on Facebook. Mark, who is sound and making sure that
saw a little hand.
sure that my feet stay on the chair and not on the table. Everybody that showed up today to the event, there is still food out there. We are streaming this live on Facebook all day because we want to encourage you to go to our Indiegogo page and contribute. For anybody that contributes today, you're going to go into a raffle for a prize package, which is a wellness package for 2 floats at Buoyant Float, 2 Soul Sweats at Soul Sweat, and a $50 gift certificate to SymBowl as well. We want to thank Con Bleu for contributing to the mixed drinks that we are doing today. There are so many people that make this a moving passion for them and allows us to continue moving forward as well. We're sounding out, but we're going to continue streaming this live. I might pull somebody back, but we will break and we'll go into our next podcast next.
Thanks all.